Hey guys, it's getting dark and starting to get below 90 degrees. Anyway, I don't know what's wrong with me. I will still sit out here in the heat with a fan on my computer and do my work. I'd much rather be outside. But, I mean, I'm on a back porch in the shade with a fan, but still, I gotta be a little bit nutty. I don't know what it is. I like to be outside. So anyway, I have an idea. I know I have a new job and everything. Well, it's not new since December. And I work from home except one day a week. But I really miss teaching, guys. I really miss it. And I thought about it. I have a voice and I have my knowledge and I don't need a script. I can sit down and read novels out loud to students, maybe who need to be read to, and pause and explain certain things along the way. So it's more of a teaching format as opposed to just reading it straight through. And for me, that could be easily done. I can sit down and read a novel and explore and discuss it as I'm reading it, having never read it before. And then, I mean, just like any novel, the more that you have read it, the more times you've read it, the more in-depth knowledge you have of the particular story. And I love literature because even in, fiction, where it's supposedly not true, many truths are in there. It's really fun to explore the author, the motivation behind the writing, their philosophy in life, their religion, their lack of religion, their governmental ties. Maybe it was written in satire as a political statement. Maybe it was written as a premonition as to what they thought possibly could come in the world. In science fiction, there's a lot of that. Sometimes we wonder if they had knowledge. To take it further than what I'm allowed to teach in a public school system. To take it further for those kids that are homeschooled and are in need of a push and help in the right direction. A way to teach them about principles, life, through stories. The way to teach them about bad things through stories. Just to teach. And in my dreams, I would have a room where they would have read the story already prior to us sitting around in comfortable chairs or couches with lamps and no fluorescent lighting. And we would go through and have a discussion. Now, prior to them reading it, I would give them things to look for, things to consider. I would also ask them to write things down, questions they may have, maybe inspiration or things that they noticed that I had not noticed, things to consider, things that we can discuss. And then you bring them all together and you discuss it. and you talk about visually what you see. If you were to put this into a play, what do they look like? How do they dress? What is their day truly like in that time period? Explore it, make it real. Make it as tangible as you possibly can so that they can learn certain aspects about their history sometimes, or about the ones who are actors or future actors and actresses, who love to do theater, the ones who would put it to music, the ones who would put it to poetry, the ones who would take principles within the book and maybe write things that they disagreed with, things that they agreed with, etc. Discussion. There's so many different directions. For instance, I had students who couldn't write very well. They were special ed, and instead of them writing a paper, I had them build models of the alien in War of the Worlds. I got more than I bargained for. They came to me with remote control aliens that they had built. It was amazing. And these kids, one in particular, I knew came from nothing. How he managed to do that, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to know, but he did. I think he took things he already had. So there's a kind of showcasing their true gifts, but also having them reach the highest level they can in reading and writing, which is so essential to communication, and being able to not be fooled in the world, because there's a lot of people fooling people because they don't read and they don't have logical thinking. They think with their emotions. Emotions are good in certain circumstances. It's good to acknowledge certain things, but to analyze or consider things from an emotional perspective, you have to be very careful. Some artists want you to get emotion when you read. I mean, that's a wonderful thing, but not to get, maybe I shouldn't use the word emotion, triggered because you have personal issues and somehow it lends itself to a memory or something, so you just naturally are opposed. There are many that are ruining communication and discussion. They are destroying our language. They are gaslighting people, manipulating. Twisting things. And because of my degrees and my, English and philosophy, it's really easy, well, not easy, but easier for me to spot these things once I snapped out of it. So I'm excited. I'll have to think about this some more on how I would do it. I think I'll make it very casual, just sitting and with a book in a chair with a lamp and just reading, and no script. I never had scripts when I was a teacher. It just naturally flowed. But it would be better if I had students really around me, but there's that communication that goes on that adds to the teaching and sometimes sends you off in directions you hadn't planned on, but end up being better. Anyway, I'll be missing that, but It's a way for me to sort of satisfy my need to teach. So, first and foremost, I'll have to consider what novel. Any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. I want to stay towards novels that would actually be read. Probably more towards your classics. Or something that is current today, that is being read in colleges and upper high school level. That's where I kind of want to focus. So any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. But this is what I'm considering, and it'd be a totally separate channel on YouTube. It's not going to be something that my personal opinions on what's going on currently will probably not flow into those conversations, but my opinions on the novel itself and the author probably will flow in. But the difference is that I'm open to consideration of others, and they must be open to my opinion also. That's the beauty, or used to be the beauty, of living in the United States of America. How are we going to right any of our wrongs if we can't talk about it and be honest and stop hiding a lot of our true history and making things up that didn't truly happen the way they say it happened? We've made heroes of really bad people, and we've ignored and don't even know the names of many of the good ones at all. And it's sad. But maybe, through teaching the right way, some of that'll change. And I can offer myself as part of the solution, just a little bit. So, I don't know what I'll call it either. So any suggestions on that would be greatly appreciated. It's also a way for me to keep my face off the camera. I will put more visual things to look at that are pleasant for the students or anybody who wants to listen. So, those are my thoughts, and please give me your opinions on the name of the channel and what book should I read first when I finally get around to this. Thank you all for listening, and I hope all of you are doing well. And prayers to everyone. I know things are very difficult, but think outside the box. I'm trying to think outside the box. I'm 52 years old. I want to make some little bitty mark, some little bitty nudge to push things in the right direction. And you can do the same with different skills. Y'all have a nice day. Bye for now.